You know, sometimes in Nigeria news, one story can wake the whole country up, and this one about SERAP and the 6 trillion Nigerian Naira's NDDC funds is one of them. SERAP, which is the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, is now asking the federal government to obey a court judgment about the Niger Delta Development Commission, popularly called the NDDC. The story is serious, but let's gist it in a way that everyone can understand what is really going on and what it means for you and me. And please, before we go deep, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because we break down these important issues every day in a way that's easy to follow. So here's what's happening. A federal high court in Lagos already gave a judgment that the government should make public the names of all individuals and companies involved in handling or mismanaging about 6 trillion Nigerian Naira's worth of NDDC project funds. The court also said the government should release the full forensic audit report of the NDDC, the one that was submitted back in 2021. That report is said to contain details of over 13,000 projects, some completed, some abandoned, and some that never even started. Now, SERAP is saying, enough of delay, obey the court order and make everything public. The big point here is about transparency, about letting the public see how money that was meant for development in the Niger Delta region has been used. The Niger Delta is rich in oil, but many communities there still don't have good roads, clean water, or proper schools. The NDDC was created to fix all that, to bring real development to the people of that region. But for years, people have been asking, where is the money going? If you check around the region, you will see many half-finished projects, a hospital without equipment, a road that stopped halfway, a water project that never produced water. That is why this court order is very important. It's about showing Nigerians what happened to those trillions. And please, my people, as you're listening, don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe. It helps us reach more viewers who also want the truth told in simple English. Now, SERAP wrote a strong letter to the Attorney General of the Federation, saying the government has to respect that court order immediately. They reminded him that under the Nigerian Constitution, every court judgment must be obeyed by all authorities, no matter who is involved. SERAP gave the government a short time to start publishing the names and the audit report, warning that if nothing is done, they might go back to court to start contempt proceedings, meaning legal steps to compel obedience. This is not the first time SERAP is doing something like this. Over the years, they have gone to court to make the government release details about recovered loot, oil revenue, and public projects. Many people respect them because they use the law to push for accountability, not noise. And when you think of 6 trillion Nigerian Nairas, that's not a small amount at all. Imagine what that money could have done if used properly: good roads linking villages, working hospitals, new schools, housing, job training centers. That kind of money could change lives. Now, the interesting part is the timeline. The forensic audit of NDDC was ordered years ago by the government after there were so many complaints of corruption and abandoned projects. The audit was completed and submitted in September 2021. Since then, people have been waiting to see what the audit revealed. But nothing much came out publicly. It was like the report disappeared into silence. Then, this year, on November 10, 2025, a federal high court ruled that the report must be made public. That's when SERAP said, okay, we've waited long enough, let's make sure this judgment is obeyed. And let me pause to remind you again, if you're finding this explanation helpful, kindly click the like button right now, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's how you support the channel and help us bring more verified stories like this every day. Now let's talk about why this judgment matters to you, even if you don't live in the Niger Delta. It's simple: when public money is used for development, everybody benefits. Roads connect states, power lines serve many regions, and industries grow when projects are completed. But when money meant for such work disappears, everyone loses. That is why SERAP is insisting that the people have the right to know what happened to those projects. Transparency is not only about blame, it's also about knowing where the system failed so it can be fixed. When the government releases the audit report, Nigerians will be able to see clearly which projects were done, which were not, and who handled them. It can help the government plan better, because you can't correct what you can't see. If a contractor abandoned a project, the community will know, and the agency can decide what to do next. If there were honest contractors who completed their work but were not paid, that will also show. It's about openness. Some people might say, maybe publishing those names could cause problems or embarrassment. But let's think of it the right way. If a person did no wrong, the report can actually clear them. And if someone truly failed to do their job, then the system can take proper action, lawfully, not through online insults but through due process. That's the mature way to handle national issues. And please, while we continue, remember to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future updates on this same story, because we will keep following it until the full details are out. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture, the importance of enforcing court judgments in Nigeria. When a court gives a decision, and the government or any official refuses to follow it, it weakens trust in the system. People start to feel that the law is only for the poor, not for everyone. But when the government itself obeys court judgments, it strengthens democracy. That's why many Nigerians are supporting SERAP's call, not because they want drama, but because they want to see fairness, and they want to see the law working for everyone equally. The Niger Delta Development Commission was set up with good intentions. Over the years, different administrations have tried to reform it, but somehow the same problems keep repeating: incomplete projects, unclear accounting, and public frustration. If this audit report becomes public and the findings are used to improve transparency, it could mark a turning point. It could help the Commission rebuild public trust and also attract more genuine investors into the region. Investors want to see order, not confusion. Let's also talk about the people on the ground, the villagers, fishermen, traders, and young people in the Niger Delta. Many of them have heard promises for years but have seen little change. Some communities are surrounded by oil wells yet still use lamps at night. Many youth want skill centers and training that were promised long ago. So this case touches real lives. It's not just about figures in Abuja or Port Harcourt, it's about people waiting for development to reach them. Now, when we talk about 6 trillion Nigerian nairas, it's natural to ask, how did that amount grow so high? Over time, yearly budgets were allocated for NDDC projects, roads, schools, hospitals, bridges. If many of those projects were left incomplete, the total of uncompleted spending can easily reach that figure. That's why the audit was necessary, to track exactly how each kobo was used. And publishing the audit will allow everyone, even you watching now, to check what's happening in your own local area. Maybe there's a school in your community that the NDDC once promised. The audit might show whether it was funded or not. As you're listening, please like this video right now and subscribe to our channel if you're new here. Your support keeps us going and helps us bring truth in a calm, respectful way. Now let's imagine what will happen if the government finally publishes the full report. Journalists will analyze it, civil society groups will follow up, and communities will begin to ask questions constructively. Even lawmakers can use it to ensure new budgets are not wasted. That's how accountability starts. You don't fix corruption overnight, but you can start by shining light on the process. For example, if the report shows that a certain road was paid for but never completed, people living near that road can confirm the reality and report it properly. It's a way of giving citizens a voice in development. And when people see the government taking transparency seriously, they are more likely to cooperate with authorities and less likely to lose hope. That's why this issue is bigger than just one region. It's about how Nigeria manages its resources for everyone. Let me also remind you, please, if you're watching and enjoying the gist, take a second to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's the only way to help us grow and continue this kind of honest talk. Now, from the government side, it's expected that they might respond soon. The Attorney General could either publish the report or announce a plan to do so. Many Nigerians are waiting for that move, because if it happens, it will show that court orders are respected. SERAP's own lawyers have said they are not looking for conflict, they just want obedience to the law. That's the spirit of democracy, everyone doing their part. It's also good to remember that enforcement of a court order doesn't mean anyone is automatically guilty. It simply means the information should be made public, so the truth can stand on its own. When facts are open, lies lose power. When people see actual data, the project names, the budgets, the timelines, the conversation becomes more productive. Instead of guessing, Nigerians can talk about solutions. Now, if you are from the Niger Delta or you know someone there, you can see why this story hits home. It's about fairness and the hope for better infrastructure. Imagine having the kind of detailed information that says, in this community, a 500 million Nigerian Nairas road was awarded to this company on this date, and this is the completion status. That kind of openness helps both government and citizens to be accountable. It's also a lesson for other agencies across the country. Transparency works everywhere. At this point, we can say that the call by SERAP is not just about one audit, it's about setting an example for the future. If this works, tomorrow other citizens can use the same legal process to ask for reports on education funds, health budgets, and others. That's how good governance grows, one step at a time. And as we keep watching this story develop, I'm sure you'd want to be updated the moment anything new comes out. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that when the next update drops, you'll be among the first to know. Now let's talk briefly about how such cases affect investors and Nigeria's image. When international partners see that the country obeys court judgments and practices openness, they become more confident to invest. Transparency brings trust, and trust brings progress. So this case, though it looks like just a legal issue, actually connects to job creation, infrastructure, and national growth. That's why we should all care about it. And of course, every side in this matter deserves fair hearing. Anyone mentioned in the report should have the opportunity to explain their side. That's how justice works, fairness, not condemnation. So as we expect the government to obey the court order, we also expect that everyone involved will be treated with dignity and according to the law. Now as we move closer to the end of this gist, remember again, please like this video if you found any part of this explanation helpful, and subscribe to stay with us. We share verified, peaceful, and respectful news so that you can always be informed in a clear way. So let's summarize the heart of today's matter. SERAP is saying the federal government must obey a court judgment that ordered the release of the NDDC audit report and the list of names involved in handling about 6 trillion Nigerian Nairas worth of project funds. The judgment came from a federal high court on November 10, 2025. The audit report in question was submitted to the government back in 2021. The total projects under review were said to be around 13,000, many of which are incomplete or abandoned. The people of the Niger Delta are waiting to see development, and the rest of the country is watching to see if transparency will finally take full effect. SERAP says if the government delays further, they may take legal action to enforce the judgment. That's where we are right now. The next step will be whether the Attorney General announces compliance, and if so, how soon the audit report becomes public. When that happens, we all have the chance to see real data and facts about how these huge funds were used. Until then, Nigerians continue to call for transparency and respect for the rule of law. So as we end this long but important gist, let me say this: accountability is not about attacking people, it's about protecting the future. When we demand openness, we are asking for better roads, better hospitals, better schools, and a system that works for everyone. That is what this SERAP versus NDDC story truly represents, a call for fairness, truth, and progress. And please, before you leave, Make sure you like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. More updates are coming soon, and we'll be here to break it down for you calmly, clearly, and completely. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next report, right here, where we tell the real stories in a way everyone can understand.